That's why scriptures like Ashtavakra were not shared with so-called beginners earlier. Because very quickly they would hear all this. I mean, he's put down meditation quite a few times already in the scripture, but it depends on where you are. So many times we can get a very early skepticism, even about the things that might actually be helpful at that stage. You see? So if it is not our authentic true discovery that I am the self, you see, then we must not prematurely give up the inquiry, prematurely give up whatever the sages are pointing to. But if it is clear I am the self and there is no but, then there is no but. You were saying yesterday, all of it is like a flowchart. You are the self. If there's a but, there's a suggestion. If there's a but to the suggestion, there's another suggestion. If there's a but to that suggestion, there's another suggestion. It's just like that. So, like the sage said, all that you needed is dispose of the mind and see that you are the self. No but. Usually there is a but how do I dispose of the mind? Then we break down and say, okay, mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. A thought is nothing but an energy construct. There is two powers to engage with this energy construct. One is the power of attention. Second is the power of belief. I know that attention is more difficult to try and manage. Belief is simpler. So let me make it simple for you. Don't believe your next thought. That is the suggestion. If no but, nothing else to be said. It is surrender, it is everything has happened in don't believe your next thought. You see? But there is usually a but. You say, but when it comes to thoughts about my family or about my relationship, it gets to me. I seem to give it belief automatically. See? So then what if the sage said, if there are these sticky ones, then you pull them into your inquiry, pull that identity of family or relationship or whatever those thoughts would give you the most stickiness or trouble, pull them into your inquiry. Who is that is struggling? If there is no but, nothing further to be said. Usually there is a but. I am not able to focus on the inquiry. I'm not able to inquire because I get too caught up in all of this. You see? Now at this point, it can segregate into various sort of prescriptions that sages have given. Some will say meditate, become mindful. Some will say chant a japa, chant a mantra. Some will say read a spiritual text. Some will say come to satsang and just hear satsang. You see? That's where all of this is for. So depending on where we seem to get stuck, the suggestions are prescribed. Now the trick in that is the mind sometimes offers up a solution, which is to say, what is the ultimate? The ultimate is that I am the self, and I am not the doer, nothing to be done. That's it. It is true, but it cannot just be this mental conclusion. I'm tired of all of this satsang, inquiry, same thing, who am I, who am I? It gets very tired, and I can understand that. Then if you hear someone like a teacher who comes and says, but what are you doing? There is no point of the inquiry. You are the self. So what if you're suffering? It's okay. It can sound compelling. I can sell it to you. Actually, if I want to, I can sell this to you completely. It's very compelling because you're already tired. You see? The seeker is getting tired. So when this comes like this, that inquiry is waste, there is no awareness. All there is this experience right now. You see? That's all there is. I can actually sell this. You see? But, and I know it is very compelling because somebody who is tired of seemingly walking on a road, if somebody comes and says, but this road goes nowhere. There is no self. There is no awareness. Inquiry is a waste of time. Something can feel like, oh wow, this is good. Relief. You see, you can rest. But and sometimes in that relief, it can also happen that we just let go so beautifully and completely that all sense of doership is dropped. So it might even lead to an authentic awakening, an authentic feeling of liberation. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is completely possible. But usually it just gets stuck as a mental concept that I am the self and there is nothing to be done. There is no awareness. You see? And inquiry is a waste of time. And then life seems to play out again full of the same old misery, suffering, because it just remained as a mental conclusion. Usually. Sometimes it can happen that in that sense of relief, that all of this self-realization was a sham. Bhagwan was lying when he was saying you must do the inquiry. All of this, you see, it can come as a big relief. I know. And in that relief also sometimes we can drop all doership. You see? But that is not the usual programming of the play. The usual programming of the play is that it just feels like the dropping of the search is too premature, and we feel like we go back into the worldly ideas of ourselves, the worldly conclusions of personhood, and that momentary relief seems to go away, and we seem to get back into this whole world of suffering. And when we get back into the world of suffering, the need to be right is still so strong that we don't admit that maybe I was premature in my conclusions, and we give ourselves much more suffering because we say, yes, yes, okay, suffering is coming, but there is no sufferer. Oh, there is no sufferer. That kind of just mental Advaita denial, crying. Oh, my life is such a mess, but nobody is suffering. That is where usually it links to. That's why all the sages have said, don't be so quick to drop, to remove, to throw away the thorn, which is helping you remove the other thorn. Yeah?
Sufferer becomes tired.
Yes. But now what happens is we have the need to be right. You see, so something is seeing that suffering is coming, I'm suffering so much, but something is trying to Advaita it away. No, even the sufferer is not me. Something is suffering.